Os! Thanks for joining me. Advanced full contact karate conversation. Let's kick it off. So, did the beginner, did an intermediate chat, shared some of the thoughts of the timeline and so forth for, again, those that are beginners, hearing something a bit different in the intermediate, starting to grasp a little bit more of what's going on in their journey, and let's kick into advanced, which is one of the best parts, obviously, of a full contact karate fighter's journey. And I feel that this part, I've got to keep it to as best I can, because this is where I stayed in this division from 2004, about 2004-5 up to 2016 when I stopped fighting. So the biggest part of my fighting journey was in this block. And again, if I get this quick chance now for maybe the training partners of mine that are watching, this is the part where we get challenged. This is the part where the training partners in your dojo, your kohai, your senior grades, or on par with your level that may be competitors or not, are in. And they're in because you're in, and because you're going to be making the dojo, proud, and your masters and so forth, teachers. But now is when it's high risk, massive high risk, or even as beginner, intermediate, let's keep going further, because the risk here is just absolutely huge on all fronts. So you are a potential brown belt, or you are a Shodan black, Shodan Ho, or a Shodan one dan, first degree, second, third, rarely fourth, to all due respect, and to those that may be a fourth competing still, congratulations. However, and fifth, let's go with the brown. So in sharing a little bit again of where I was at, and just giving you some insight to behind it, I was brown when I won my first open tournament, state title. And why I gestured that is the lead up to that was, again, 4 or 5 years continuous fighting up to getting to open. So give or take, anywhere between 5 to 10 fights over that 4-year period, 5-year period to get to brown. It could be, let's just say 40 to 50 fights, right? With the draws and so on. So I progressed through the ranks in the apprenticeship strong. My dojo, Ashian, was adamant in that nature, and I've instilled it here as best I can, but it is very difficult to, be 100% fit during that time, no injuries, no interruptions. I was extremely blessed, touch wood, to go straight through, because I stuck to everything, 100%. So I won mine, which was awesome. I don't know exactly how many fights it was. I know it was 3 to get to, so it was 2 and then a final, or 2, it was maybe 2 and a draw in the semi and then the final. And fought some freaking tough dudes. So fresh brown, going into the VIX, again, didn't go through the phase of who we're fighting, who we're competing. So my preparation now is strong. It's clockwork. It's automatic. It's absolute automatic. And automatic meaning I don't. There's no. What do we do here? Where are we at? If I'm 8 weeks out, there's no alcohol. If I'm 8 weeks out, my diary and agenda it's off. If there's weddings, commitments, I'm not, I may attend, may not attend. It's that serious. I'm 2 feet in. I've committed to my Shian 8 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it needs to be, because I'm at a phase now where Shian, Billy would say, you have to be 90% ready, no matter what. 90% and more, not just 90. If you're always within that bracket, we don't need an 8-week window to prepare. We should be in a 6, maybe even anywhere from 6 or maybe 5. If it's 8, it's 8, no problem. But you should be ready, 90% ready. We do not need to start building extra things now. All we should be doing is being super consistent, mentally ready, understanding what's ahead of us, understanding the cardio and the stamina is at a strong point to get to a final, to win the final. So we're not talking of a maybe and a shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're mentally talking final. How are we getting there? What are we going to do? 3 bouts, 4 bouts, whoever it is. Where were the weaknesses that we needed to work on, that we felt need to be stronger? We might jump on them quickly. and start building on them. And then we start working on the strengths and then molding it all together. Then we're into, again, don't worry about the timelines too much just yet because we're 90% ready. So the sparring definitely kicks up, most definitely kicks up. So the sparring is full contact. There is going to be moments of shin pads, gloves, and then moments of contact because we have to feel and get our body in readiness for that full contact. There's no shin pads, no gloves. We're on here. Mouth guard only, coin cup. So the part of your body being super conditioned, there's no limit. There's just absolutely no limit. And know that from being able to compete in all different tiers. But, again, winning that first one just made me just go, right, that's it. I'm going for it here. Get me into the next one, which gave me an amazing streak of tournaments. And I'll share it because I want people to kind of comprehend the streak that I am proud about, but why I'm doing these talks and sharing a little bit more. So from 07, we went to a nationals and I came third. So got to the semis and lost there to Sensei Graham Rose, bloody gun, 4-time Australian champ. And then I won the 08 nationals, and then I lost the VIX second. Then moved to the 09, lost in the semi again to a fantastic Iranian champion. And then in 2010, I lost in the final to a New Zealand champion, bugger, too strong, too good. And then 2011, won. So the gap between those major wins was keeping my momentum and my will to get the next one and to get better and to fight the top fighters and to continue to go into all these tournaments. And I was doing 2, 3, 4 tournaments a year. There were moments where Xian in this advanced phase would say, we're off to Sydney in a month and lock that date, and us, done. My fighting career was always first, in the language of, hey, we're going to go. We're off to the national. We're off to here. We were in a group. Xian Billy's dojo and group was independent, meaning it gave us the flexibility, and he wanted that for his team to allow us to compete in ACA tournaments, Shin Kyokushin tournament, so different organisations for those overseas, which I was so blessed and thankful for. Immensely blessed and thankful for now, and I knew that at the time though, because they were coming hard and fast. There were some intense tournaments, intense fighting, weeks on, weeks off, where no breaks, consistently trained through 15, 16 years, up to now 22 years, touch wood, where I was fortunate with no injuries, no setbacks, no delays. These are massive parts in the advanced fighting that you need to keep on top of. You need to be prepared way in advance for the longevity of the advanced side if you're going to be in that full contact bracket. Like I said, mine was in there for 12 years, 204 to 216, my last one. 12 years. Jeez, man, I'm just trying to figure that out now. In sharing the side of with you that shodan, that black belt, man, you prepared. The fear was always the black tag fighter, the brown belt black tag fighter, because they're preparing for shodan, and there's some beautiful, fantastic karatekas, let alone the fighter who is doing the full suite of training to get ready for their shodan. Be fearful of them, fearful or respectful of them leading into the fights. My goodness gracious. When I had my black tag, I kept saying to Sharon, you could run a bus through me that wouldn't. I was just so focused, so determined, and so committed to the task at hand that tournaments were just, hey, where are we going? When are we going? It was such a buzz. It was such a great energy to be around. Training partners were fantastic. They knew their level of how hard to push us. Without a great training partner base of different weight divisions, which is so difficult for many dojos and many clubs, it's bloody tough. But I was so blessed, so lucky, and so thankful for them because they beat the living shit out of me. They beat me back. Like, I lost more in the lead-ups and in the sparring and got put down a couple of times from that, so that wouldn't happen on the mat. That's the type of mental game plan that Xi'an had to reinforce for someone like me coming through the ranks. We got to know where your pain barrier is. We got to know, how far can you go? Where is your extreme? Because it's above and beyond now. You're semi-professional with the training, the commitment, the sacrifices. We were saying semi-professional, but you might as well be professional. Because the commitment is as on par. And I was fortunate to play professional basketball and see my teammates. And I do the mathematics on the training that we did when I was with the Titans and those Olympians that I was so fortunate to be mates with. I think I did more training in my advanced karate fighting career than we did and that's no disrespect to the pro ballers, but the training and the intensity and the push and the recovery and it was far greater in advanced. And that goes to the uncapped tier of where is it? Where do you want it to be? And that's what opened my eyes. I was fortunate Xi'an, Billy, and my teacher fought in world tournaments, won titles, knew that level and difference of what it needed to take to get to the top under Hunchy Eddie Emmett, who was his teacher. So when we got to the chance to represent Australia and go to World Tournament and World Cups, okay, let me share this. Again, more of a vlog chat here, obviously, but the first time we competed was in a weight category division, and my second bout was against the world champion, the previous year world champion. And the level and the class that he had on me was far superior. He didn't hurt me. He didn't, there was my mind on it was didn't hurt me. I wasn't fearful of him. I knew I had everything ready to go, but the difference of his level was control, breathing. The judges noticing his techniques, his sets were clean. The timing of when he went and didn't go, the flow of the fight was in his control. So many different. So we came back. We come back from those tournaments, disappointed, upset, but straight into it again. Right. That's what happened. And then the World Cups the open weight tournaments that I was in 3. Fortunately and blessed, and touch wood I always do, because just thankful, and fought the toughest fight, or that changed my view of stamina conditioning, was Sensei Jonathan Tennell, who was runner-up twice in the world tournaments in the All Japan Union, runs the massive Spain camps, legend. I fought him in the second round, and what a moment! I loved every second of it. It's on YouTube. They put it, their team put it up. But the part I want to share was when I went for the Gidan Mawashi move. I did all the tactics right. When I went into for the Gidan Mawashi, his leg was what shocked, like the strength and the size and the power of him, because he was preparing to win the thing. I think our mentality should have been that. It should always be that. I can't preach that enough now in advance. You've got to train to win. Win the damn thing. Win whatever you're doing. Go absolutely all in. And the mental game is far greater at this level of going for the win. So if it's the win, and then the concept comes back with, well, what are the world champs doing? So if you're going to the Worlds or you're going to compete in nationals, what is the national champ doing? You think he's going to be just cruising? Well, no. So once you start grasping that, which I unfortunately had a level of, but not. I never thought world champion. and that's open and honest, and we've all spoken about, Ashian and I, we've spoken about this, where if you want to go for that, you got to train like them. And if you don't train them, then don't be surprised why you aren't as strong as them, aren't at that level of them. Don't be surprised. And that was not a surprise to me, but that's what opened my eyes more. Coming back from 09 and then winning a national here, and then, feeling strong, confident, and I was not phased to fight the number 1, number 2 in the world. Bring it on. No problem. So we ticked those boxes. Fantastic. Where I take and share openly with you who's watching here is, could I have done more? Absolutely. Could I have done more and more? Yeah. And do it. It's not regret, because I've learned from it, but oh man, it was a massive eye opener. And from there, you try your best. And then again, depending on what your age is as an advanced fighter, you will start to feel and recognize that your body has a window. You try your best to maintain it. You start to simplify the fight game. Your teachers and kohai and you're already in. You're going fantastic. You're a representative of the full contact karate force. And win, lose or draw, it's win or learn. We call it win or learn. Have a listen to the talk I do there. So, there are some examples that I've just shared with you there, and I guess the training part of it is now in your hands pretty much. You've gone through beginner, intermediate. How far out are you from competitions? How many are you competing through the year? What have you set your goals and tasks for? How long do you have left to compete in this window? Because it is a brutal sport / competition. Being a full contact fighter, the sacrifices are just enormous. What I'm sharing with you is how much, because there's nothing. They just keep going. So I hope that gives you advanced fighters or beginner watching this advance. You got to just keep training, and that's why when I say the beautiful part of Kyokushin, the best part and the beautiful part of Kyokushin in the advanced side is your potential is enormous now. You've committed years and years and years of training. You've probably traveled. You may have won. You may not have won. You've experienced the journey. You've seen tournaments. You've seen the ups and downs. You've felt the highs and lows. You've gone through. Listen to all this, right? It's unbelievable what's just happened in your journey up to that black belt near done phase, 8 to 12, 15 years of training. And now you're trying to win titles or put it all together as a fighter. And again, the beautiful part is the level is just high, goes higher. Your dojo goes higher. Your teacher goes higher. The new students go higher. The beginners and intermediates have to go higher. You're setting a fantastic standard. You're setting the bar high. Keep going. If you rise it, if everyone out there and to my students, if you keep rising, we keep rising. And as full contact karatecas that are starting to get social content like this, and people saying, there was only 8 in the middle, 4 in the middleweight division. Go away. You got to be in it to win it. You want to win it, you got to go. Who knows who's going to be there? Who cares who's going to be there? It doesn't matter. Yes, our masters and our higher end teachers in the 80s and 90s had that fortunate one group, one division, 32 fighters, 6 fights, fantastic, exceptional, amazing, all respect. We can't hold our fighters back now, or else it just won't ever get to what it needs to be. And the other angle is, as an advanced fighter, I was so fortunate to compete in other tournaments. The more tournaments you can compete in, the more fights you get, the better you're going to get, the more experience you're going to get, and so on. Some groups don't allow that. Very difficult. I can't jump into obviously why that's the case, and that's why I opened the 50 round sparring sessions here at our dojo for mostly the advanced, so mostly that green and above belts, because they're the ones that need more sparring, because they're at that level of sparring the same people at the same dojo, not getting as good as they can be because everyone knows each other. Then they've got to set foot into hopefully my dojo on a Saturday morning and fight different fighters from different clubs, different organisations, one family, all that. That's that side of it. And you might be this advanced fighter that stopped fighting. So you're a short-down, or whatever you are. And you've had a crack, it's been amazing, but you can't commit everything moving forward. That's why I've also put the 50 rounds as a Saturday thing in my dojo, because you're welcome to get that adrenaline dump as well, and that rush and that flow of being fast, being smarter, seeing openings, not having to worry too much about getting injured and walking out of 50 rounds or 20 rounds or whatever you've done on the day, just to be sharp, get to be better, help others out, add a little bit more to your game, see something different. It's just so much. So again, from the advanced level, all respect to you out there. If you're an advanced fighter in Kyokushin or in full contact karate, keep it up. Keep going. We need your presence. We need you continually setting the bar, the standard high, the etiquette, the ethos of what our Shians, my Shian, and everyone else has passed on to us. That's what kind of not hurts, but sucks in my retirement when I was 36 is not being able to hold the flame anymore. But I knew that if I could help bring new fighters coming through, we're kind of both holding the flame, and that's fantastic, because there's a great feeling I have is when people say, and this is again to those that have stopped fighting, do you miss it? 100% miss it, 100%. But I've got other means and measurements now that I compensate it for. The biggest one is coaching and developing other fighters to get to advanced or get to whatever, beginner, intimate, advanced. And if I've got a luxury of 7 fighters from my dojo, they do 2 fights a day on average. So I'm involved in nearly 14, 15 fights as the coach on the side. I couldn't have asked for anything more. I absolutely love that part of it. Compared to when I fought, I'm in for 3. And yeah, that's fun and great. But I'd rather be a part of the 14, the 12, or the 10, or 3 students going to the final and 10 fights on that day. What a rush. I'm absolutely spent. I'm absolutely spent after those tournaments, and I love it though. So as a non-fighter now, and if you have recently stopped, you give back in as much way as you can. Reason why I'm doing this, hopefully you've got something out of it from an advanced level as a fighter or a non-fighter. Ask questions, let me know. Ask your call high, keep asking questions. Understand that there's like-minded individuals like us all around the world. So well done to you if you're still competing. If not, well done to you as well. And look forward to seeing any questions and talking a little bit more. So there's the beginner, intermediate, advanced, full contact fighter conversation, bit of a workshop in just understanding some of those key pillars and points of what we've done, and a bit of my journey as well. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. See you at the next video. Us.